If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
What's up, everybody? Dennis from Windmill Slam here to play Magic the Gathering, a deck master game. Specifically a Cans Fate Reforged draft, or should I say Fate Reforged Cans. And we have opened a junker of a pack. Our rare is terrible. Just the worst siege and just underwhelming overall. None of our uncommons are any good. Our saving grace here is this Bathe and Dragonfire, to be honest. I think it's a pretty clear pick. There really isn't much else that competes with it. I mean, Bloodfire Enforcers is an okay card and Gurmag Angler is fine. Aside from the Bathe and Dragonfire, it's probably the land. So I'm going to unhappily take this Bathe and move on with the draft. Now, here we go. Now we're talking. We have opened a lovely Misfire Adept. Unfortunately, we'll be passing on Aven Surveyor, but Misfire Adept is a hell of a card. Works reasonably well with Bathe and Dragonfire. Burn their blocker and get a 4/4 flyer in. It's no small feat. Blue-red is a deck I'm a fan of. If we can pick up some Teamer Battle Rages, maybe wield as Gore Swine, we could be in business, but I'm definitely picking up the Adept here. Like I said, I'm a little sad to be passing that Aven Surveyor, but you do what you can. Another Bathe and Dragonfire is probably the pick here. It's either that or the Sandstep Outcast, actually, now that I think about it. They're reasonably comparable cards in terms of power level. I think I'd say Sandstep Outcast is a little better. Sorry for the noise, I was just closing the window. I think Sandstep Outcast is probably a little bit better, but considering Bathe and Dragonfire is a red card, we can just stick blue-red without having to push in Jeskai. And if we do end up in blue-red, that deck wants a lot of non-creature spells, and premium removal is high on that list. Cloud Form, super solid. Super solid. Same goes for Refocus, and Channel Harm is a pretty good card. I think I'm going to take the Cloud Form here. Be reasonably happy with it. We could take the Thornwood Falls and hedge on Teamer a little bit. There's an Ethereal Ambush as well in that sort of vein, but I don't see a reason to pick anything over Cloud Form. Again, this is a non-creature spell that actually makes a creature, which is very nice for the Hopeful Prowess deck we're going to go for. Wow. 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 I know this is a small set, but we're opening a lot of the same card here, and I cannot be happier than picking up a second Misfire Adept. That is amazing. We're going to snap that right up. That indicates to me that blue-red is wide open. Again, a third Bathe and Dragonfire would be coming here, but I'm not passing that Misfire Adept. That is a card I'm happy to first pick. You know? Getting it fifth is unheard of. So from that, I think it's reasonably safe to assume that blue is wide open in this direction. Like, Misfire Adept is a card that is obviously great if you can build around it, but it's totally fine to just slot into basically any deck that has blue cards in it, because anytime you activate it, it's going to get you a nice effect. And the worst case scenario is it's a 4-mana 3/3, which is far from terrible. The card has a high floor and a very high ceiling. So here, what do we want? Take a Windscar Krang in case we end up in Jeskai. Otherwise, taking Enhanced Awareness. Fierce Invocation is not bad either. Nora's Refocus. Might be the Fierce Invocation. 4-drop one of these into 5-drop one of these is pretty solid. And I think I'd rather have a Wee Fate, which I hope we can pick up in the next 2 packs, than the Enhanced Awareness, or maybe even a Treasure Cruise, maybe. So I'm going to stick with the Fierce Invocation. Haven't seen any Battle Rages yet, but I would like that Cliff, but I would really quite like this Gore Swine as well. Gore Swine is a great card for these kinds of decks. It's a great thing to jump with your Misfire Adept. It's a great thing if you end up with Barrage of Boulders, which is this deck's best friend. Yeah, I'm going to take the Gore Swine. Here, I'm just going to take this Efreet. There's actually some reasonable arguments here for the Rugged Highlands, because it could still totally be in Teamer. Like, if we're just a Teamer deck that happens to have 2 Misfire Adepts in it, that's a pretty solid base. I'm going to take the Highlands in case that ends up being a thing. Bloodfire Force is actually quite good in this kind of deck now, though we don't actually have any instants yet. But the sorceries are sort of the harder part of that to pull off. We've already got quite a few of those. Another Gore Swine or War Flare. Just pick up a Gore Swine. I think I'm happy with that. Boomcake is playable, but definitely not amazing. Refocus is totally playable. See, I don't think we need to be a third color here. That's pretty solid if we can get an active treason. It's also fine for just dealing the last couple points of damage to your opponent. Yeah, I really don't think we're going to need to go into a third color here. We have the Highlands. That was my reasoning for taking the Gore Swine over the... There's a reasonable... Was it the Swiftwater Cliffs? Because even though Swiftwater Cliffs would smooth us, I mean, most of the time you don't have fixing lands in 2-color decks in normal formats. And I just don't think we need it. We're coming out of pack 1 with 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of which are just excellent, I think. Cloud form might be not as good as I'm hyping it up to, but the 2 Misfire Depths and the Bathing Dragonfires are premium. They're really, really good. So now we just want Whirlwind Adepts, and Active Treasons are good, and wouldn't mind Crippling Chills, they're pretty solid. Wouldn't mind some Wind Scouts, just anything with prowess. Wind Scouts. Bloodfire Experts, Refocus is totally fine again. Probably don't want 2 of them, but what else would we really like? Barrage of Boulders, I'd love to pick up 1 or 2 of those. In this kind of deck, they can just be an instant win out of nowhere. Gore Swine helps us trigger them nice and early. Other End is not what we're looking for. Suspension Field is pretty great. But we have Crippling Chill and Treasure Cruise as our other options. I think this deck would benefit slightly more from a Crippling Chill than it would from Treasure Cruise. That sounds insane. Treasure Cruise is obviously a great card in this kind of deck, but the Refocuses draws card, and the Crippling Chill also draws a card. Get something out of the way. Hopefully we can jump something, and it's also our first instant for our Bloodfire Enforcers. So that makes me want it a little more. I could have been talked into the Treasure Cruise, but I think this deck wants a Crippling Chill more. Take a Bloodfire Expert here. Pretty happy about that. Windscar Crag worth noting. Windswept Heath also worth noting, but we're not drafting for money here. Ooh. Maybe we just want the Water Whirl. Water Whirl or Force Away. Probably Water Whirl. It's just a late game tempo play that can win us the game out of nowhere if we have some of this stuff on the board. Yeah. No reason to pull out of these 2 colours yet, I don't think. We actually have 8 creatures because our Cloud Form and our Fierce Invocation. Although they're kind of misleading, because if you Cloud Form up, you know, a creature, you don't have one, it's taking a slot of a creature that's left in your deck. Some really solid white guards going around here. Some not so bad green ones either, but so long as there are reasonable blue-red cards, I'm not going to push out. The tempo deck, I kind of want to just cast on my... Whoa! That is pretty nice. Foil too. That card just represents unbounded amounts of damage. I mean, if we cast even a Refocus, right? If we cast a Refocus and use this to jump this, that hits for 8 damage in the air right off the bat. That's nuts. Not to mention it makes this a 4/4. But that Dragon Style Twins, that is a beautiful pickup. That is awesome. How late was that? That was super late. We have 17 in here. How many do we have in here? 3. It's 20. It's 5th pick. I have to imagine any red deck is just going to put that in. Like, yeah, it's better if you build around it in like we're trying to do, but even without that, it's just a solid card. 5 mana 3/3 double strike prowess doesn't really ask that much of you to be insane, and a 5 mana 3/3 double strike isn't exactly terrible. Pick up an Active Treason here to go with our collateral damage, perhaps, but more so in that it just triggers our prowess and gets it out of the way. There's a Whirlwind Adept. I'll happily snap that up. God, we love a Barrage of Boulders. This deck seems sick so far. It just seems super sick. We have 11 creatures, we're counting these 2. Like, having, like, Fierce Invocation flipping up anything is a 5 mana 4/4. Worst case scenario, if it hits a land or an instant or sorcery or something. And the fact that it triggers our Bloodfire Expert, our 2 Mistfire Adepts, our Whirlwind Adept, and now our foil Dragonstall Twins makes it just a super, super relevant card. Do I want a Summit Prowler or a Singing Bell Strike with this Windscar Crag? I could be talking to any of these. At 19 playables, I really don't think we're going to need to splash anything. I think our deck's going to be powerful enough without it. So the question is these two. With the Bays, the Act, yeah, I think I just want the Beefer. This isn't a Trumpet Blast deck, so here I'll pick up the Windscar Crag just in case, I guess. In case you open a High Sentinels or something, I suppose. Wow. Okay. Having wheeled the Jeskai Charm, I think we might consider splashing white. Like I said, we've got the Windscar Crag now, and we're at 21 playables if we do run it, so we can definitely just upgrade our deck a little bit. Like, our deck isn't actually really aggressive, it's more combo-y in a way. It's going to kill them in, 2 or 3 really big hits rather than bashing at them from the get-go. Like, we don't even have any 2-drops. This is a great late game play. Like, I most often would have to, probably I most often use just the last 4 damage or the +1/+1 lifelink. If that turns this into a 5/5 double strike lifelink, that's no small feat. Turns even this into what, a 6/4? Like, I know Burnaway is a better card, but I think that I think this deck just needs a barrage of boulders. I think we just need it. I was excited to see this, but double Dragonstyle Twins. I think we're just happy to go with that, aren't we? I think that's just good enough, isn't it? Jeez, the prowess deck is real. Currently have 12 non-creature spells. That's pretty good. Like, this card is just so scary. We don't have that many instants, to be honest. Although, we've actually got a couple now. More than I thought. Whirlwind Adept or Warshrieker. Warshrieker lets us cast any of these 3. Or a Bathe in Dragonfire, which is fine. Do I want the Adept more? I don't really want that many 5-drops. I might just take the Warshrieker here. Either that or the Bell Strike. Or maybe just the Wee Fate. Maybe we just want the Wee Fate over this Jeskai Charm. Keep consistent, and maybe just want to have this collateral damage actually. Yeah, let's pick up a Wee Fate here, I think. I don't think I want another 5-drop. Wow, a lot of blue red cards going around. I wouldn't mind this, or this. I'm not taking the second Wee Fate. I don't think I'm taking the Crippling Chill. Got a Water Whirl. And I already have 1 Crippling Chill. And Misfire Adept helps us get evasive as well. Do I just want to burn away? Right, maybe I do just want this Crippling Chill. And run these 23 like that. It's another instant. Then again, so is this. I'll take the burn away. A little bit more removal is always nice. There's a Warshrieker. I could run him over something, in theory. Wouldn't be terrible. Wow. Like, these are so good, but like I just don't think they're as good as the other 5-drops we have. Having this face invocation is super nice because it turns on all this other stuff. Guess I'll just take a Leaping Master here, maybe? Just as a 2-drop? Probably not. I think I'll take this, but is this just better than a Glacial Stalker, maybe? I'll take the Leap Master and put it in the board for now, I think. There's a Bell Strike. Wow. I'll take a Chill here, I think, over another Act. Or these Canyon Lurkers. I like a Chill better than a Refocus. It's a little cut to make, don't I? Yeah. It's potentially a creature. Might be this Glacial Stalker. Actually, it might be this War Shrieker. Yeah, does this War Shrieker get the Stalker back in? And even though we have one active treason, we could have had a second one there. I'd rather just have a Crippling Chill for a little bit more card draw. In terms of a raw tempo win, the active treason is better because it doesn't only remove a blocker, it also turns their blocker into an attacker, which is relevant. Oh my god, at this point do I just cut this? Like, maybe I cut this refocus. For instance, 5 sorceries, that's an okay ratio. Oh, pardon me. I want some early game play, so that's why I'm keeping the Glacial Stalker here over the third Whirlwind Adept. And like I said, the Fierce Invocation triggering all this stuff is super nice. Oh my god. Hey, if our opponent represents a bunch of removal, we could just bring in all these, because these are all hexproof. Yeah, this deck has a pretty clear plan, I think. Again, I don't think we need to splash the Jeskai Charm. I think our mana is a little bit tricky. Although it's not even, I suppose. We've got a couple of double reds in the Cloud form in the Water World, but we could just chuck this in, but I don't think we need it. 9-8 in favor of Mountains, I think I agree with that. So I can rid of mana cost, group creatures separately, and chuck the Glacial Stalker down here. That is a hell of a block. Although we have to remember that this goes there and this goes there. So if we imagine on turn 4, some percentage of the time we'll be bathing or crippling or weaving. Got a pretty reasonable curve here. The Barrage Bolt is really happening somewhere around here. And our other bathe is probably somewhere around there and there as well. If we imagine our spells work out like that, it's a pretty solid curve. Nothing to do in the first 2 turns of the game ever. Which is a little scary, I won't lie. But I think we've got ourselves a pretty sweet deck, and I'll be disappointed if we lose in the first round, so let's not. Round 1 with what might be the 6th deck I've ever drafted. And in typical Dennis fashion, we have to go straight to 6, that's fine. Oh, no, not like this. Not like this. Come on. So unfair. Well, this is the kind of deck that could pretty feasibly win off of a mulligan to 5 if you're just going to draw it okay. If we just build out a board and get a barrage of boulders, we could totally win that game. Because this deck has so much redundancy, I think it also... The only thing I'm sad about, I don't think I mentioned this during the draft, is that I wish we'd gotten another barrage, maybe even 2 other barrages, just for the falter effect for the big win. But other than that, the deck has quite a bit of redundancy, and decks with redundancy and limited mulligan better than decks that don't have a lot of it, because you're not relying on drawing specific cards. Everyone hasn't turned up yet, so I'm just going to pause the recording, and I'll see you when he comes back. And we're back. Our opponent kept 7, we're going to 5, I'm afraid. I guess I have to keep that. So I need to get pretty lucky here and just draw runner lands off the top. Good start. A couple more of those would be great. By a couple I mean 3, and maybe drawing a Misfire Death along the way would be nice. 2-drop is not what I want to see, especially not a Sofog Grandmaster, so we're going to Bathe and Dragonfire that right away. I want to keep my opponent's life total low and mine high, so popping off, popping off his 2-drop seems reasonable. What's the 3? It's just a morph. Morph is fine. Wow, we are really getting somewhere with this. As far as mulligans to 5 go, this has gone pretty well. If we can just land this Dragonstyle Twins, you know, remove his blocker, get in for 8 damage, we might be in business. Cloud form, don't care about that. Wow, this is awesome. Now, if he has removal for this, you know, things gonna look a lot worse for us. But he did miss his 4th land drop, Apparently it's 4 colours as well. It's not clear at the moment which is a splash. Cloudform and Self-File Grandmaster, neither of those are really worth splashing. So I have to assume it's either the green or the black. Well, I can't block that, so... These aren't legendary, are they? I assume not. Yeah. It's not V Dragon Style Twins or anything. Usually things have a specific name, like a proper name. Okay, I guess it's that thing back. That's okay. I think I'm going to come in here. I could burn away, you know, this, probably. Get in for extra damage. I think I will do that, in fact. Honestly, I probably just shouldn't have attacked there, but... we have a pretty reasonable racing game going like this, to be honest. Especially if we draw an island. The colours he's in so far, the only thing that the Self-File Grandmaster could gain life from would be a Dousing Gloom. So that's good. That's a little frustrating, but it means he's not flipping anything up super scary from his manifest. Is he coming in with everything? That's a little risky. Dragon Style Twins really do represent an awful lot of damage. And that's it. Interesting. Okay, with that in mind, I think it's time to play the Whirlwind Adept and say go. Maybe we can set up a win with the Water Whirl. Water Whirl. How much damage is that even? It's actually only 13. We've got a reasonable deterrence here. Obviously we can't do much about the Cloudformed guy for now, but yeah, it's going to keep him at bay. Island's a good draw. Crippling Chill, Refocus, Wee Fate, Fearsome, just anything in our deck. Summer Predator, that's a fine draw as well. It's a decent enough blocker that I'm willing to come in with the Dragon Style Twins and represent a bunch of tricks that make it a scary block. Yeah, it could get kill shotted, but that was going to happen eventually almost no matter what. Nope, he's just taking the 6. Good for us. I have to imagine there's something incoming here. It could be a enhanced awareness. Could be flipping up that manifest. Enhanced awareness. Called it. It's got lifelink. That's pretty funny. An Island Egg gives us a pretty reasonable shot at just killing our opponent. And a Barrage of Boulders gives us a guarantee, I think. And he did just get a bunch of cards, so he's going to have something to do. That's going to be at least pretty good. That extra life might matter. Might not, depending on how he plays this and depending on what we draw. If he gets greedy now and attacks with his Horde Mate. Yeah. So the way we win this game now, I think, is we take this. It's only 5 damage. And then, hang on now. Water Whirl is still lethal if he plays only 1 creature. So, actually I'm going to block here because we're dead to hit this being a couple of things and we're dead to some tricks here. Although, in these colors, oh no, he's got green, so it could be Awakened there or something. At this point I'm pretty sure the splash is the black because he's got 2 green sources here, but we haven't seen any black or green cards. Yeah, that's pretty grim if he bounces this. Which I assume he will. Yeah, that's going to be tough to win now. Especially with that draw. Not impossible though. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the Twins again. He can only get in for 4 in the air and he can't attack with this because we can eat it with the Twins. So if he gets in for 4 in the air and only plays 1 creature, we can kill him with the Water Whirl. Barrage of Boulders will still kill him, I believe. Yeah. This is 13 damage, so no blocks, got a 1. We have some good draws here. If it's only 1 creature, we can win with an island. If it's 2, we have to get barrage of boulders. It's only 1. Oh, come on with the islands game. Jesus Christ. That's it. We can't win now. Nah. Island would have won us that game off the top, though. There it is. That's humiliating. Freaking smoke tower down there. So yeah, black is definitely a splash then. Anything you want to change here? Rolling the deck might be better than a fierce invocation, because we saw that he's got the Aven Surveyor and stuff. Although still probably not. This triggering is still probably worth it. I think we can definitely beat his deck, and we certainly got unlucky there. An island off the top there would have just won us the game. And I mean, we did mulligan to 5, so what can you expect? This is not amazing, but certainly keepable. We haven't drawn much of the powerful cards in our deck, but got a nice mix of lands and spells, and at this point I think we're going to have to stick that. Good draw. Now we need to draw all of our good cards. Dragonsalt Winds, Misfire Adept, Whirlwind Adept. Cloud Form not amazing here, but we get to get our Glacial Stalker down, so that's nice. Possibly just going to bathe in Dragonfire this morph. Oh, there's nothing coming, awesome. Nothing for us either, though. Fierce Invocation, obviously unbelievable if it hits a Dragonstall Twins. That's pretty insane. Morph, 4-drop, Sultai Flare, Sultai Flare. Alright. We can eat it, so let's try. It's going for it. Alright, you can have your life, buddy, but I'm gonna eat your creature. If we don't island, we can bathe plus cloud form if we want. That's pretty nice. He didn't. He's gonna have an enhanced awareness here, I'd imagine. I'm gonna go for the invocation, I think. Ugh, awkward, I wouldn't have minded drawing that, but that's okay. Awareness. Yeah, it's fine. Him bouncing the Wii Fate actually isn't that bad for us, so. If he, in my head I was thinking maybe if he has a Surveyor again now to follow up. Discard a Swamp. If he has a Surveyor to follow up to bounce our Manifest, it's probably the best thing to do. But then it's just a 2-2 and our Glacial Stalker bashes through it and he spends his whole turn doing that. You know. I'd be okay with that. And I wouldn't mind getting that Wii Fate back, like I said. I think it might just be 4 colours because he's running some swamps and it's... Oh, what's this? Sultai Scavenger. Gurmag Angler, okay. That's annoying. You have to burn that away, I think. Can't bathe in Dragonfire it, so as much as I would like to bathe in Dragonfire plus Cloud Form, I think I have to burn away and get in for a ton of damage. Which isn't bad at all. Attacking for 8 here and he's got no good blocks. Misfire Adept is what we're really looking for here now. That'd be a great draw. Dragonsalt Twins also obviously not bad. Whirlwind Adept not amazing, but certainly fine. What's this big thing there? Abzan God, that is getting bathed in Dragonfire, my friend. Or is it getting active treasoned? Can I kill him? No, almost. Very nearly. If I were to steal this and do that, but I think I'm gonna have to bathe that. Because the lifelink is very annoying. I'm gonna have to Cloud Form. That was a sick hit. Cloud Form also a great thing for the Dragonstall Twins if we can hit it. Now using both colors to have a Wrath here, which is worth noting, but we can easily recover by just casting a Summer Peller and hitting with an Act of Treason. Aven Surveyor, that's probably not going to do it. Can't bounce our flyer. And if we just steal his flyer, it's actually not lethal. It's certainly close though. Oh, it is if we flip this up. Yeah, if we flip this up and steal his flyer, we can kill him. Cool. Let's do that. Let's incentivize him to use a spell here by attacking with everything. And then when he goes for the chump, to go to 1, we flip this up and try to kill him. This is hexproof, so it's going to be tough to interact with. Cool. Oh yeah, that was a much more straightforward game, and our deck performed a lot better when we drew a nice mix of lands and spells, so I think if we can pull that off for the third game, we have a pretty good shot at winning. Like, we didn't draw any of our nuts cards there. There was no adepts, none of these, and none of these. It was just kind of the rock solid stuff in between that got us there. Yeah, I think if we can do that again, we're going to be in great shape. Yeah, there's every possibility we get unlucky like we did in the first game, and there's every possibility that he does too. But assuming both players get to play like a reasonable game of Magic and have equal luck, I think our deck beats his. Probably not with this hand though, to be honest. On the draw, I think we can probably do better than a 6-lander. That's much nicer. It's a good sequence. Blow up your thing, hit you for 4. Ooh, wow. Ooh, that is a 6 sequence if we can just draw some lands now. Yeah, continue to do nothing, please. That's great. I'm getting for so much damage like this. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, we're at the point where we need to start hitting lands. Mountains preferably, but I'll settle for an island to just get the Adept down. Even if we hit a mountain, I'm probably just going to cast the Adept. If we don't, I'm going to bathe in Dragonfire, whatever this thing is, and hit him for 4, probably. Oh, I'll just Cloud Form then. I'm actually going to offer this trade too. Will I? He gains back to the light just by swinging back at me, so. Yeah, I'm going to offer it, I think. Did it take? He takes. Playing right into the Teamer Battle Rage, he doesn't give a damn. That's fine, get the Cloud Form going. What do we hit? We hit a Burn Away. We weren't casting that for a while anyway, and we've got other stuff to do with the mana, so that's not so bad at all. Again, probably just playing the Adept, depending on what we draw. If we don't draw that something, we're just going to bathe in Dragonfire, whatever this is. Playing the Adept now. If I can avoid killing this, I will. That 4 life is far from nothing, although it is instantly destroyed, like made back up by their Misfire Adept. Opponents miss some land drops, that's good for us. What does Active Treason do for us? Not a whole lot. Steals this probably, gets in for a chunk. What's the alternative? Bathing Dragonfire, probably this. Jump up, hit him for 6 in the air. He hits us back for 6. We Active Treason, hit him for more again. Alternatively, we just cast maybe our Summit Prowler. I don't mind casting my Summit Prowler here. Blocks this pretty well. And it's a nicer thing to jump than the Misfire Adept, because the Misfire Adept becomes a 4/4 and can get in sort of just on that by itself if we bathe the Dragonfire or something. I can take that, I think. Got his own Cloud Form, that's okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got 10 attacking on the way back, so would not mind gaining some life. If we attack with everything, we cannot deal 21, not at all. So Question is, how do I feel about we failing to jump this and get in? Not amazing. How do I feel about stealing this? Not so bad either. This is a really tough spot. Look, we're on a very low life total. If we steal that thing, we'll gain back 2 of the life. And we'll get in a pretty big swing. We'll attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll attack for 12. He might trade the manifests. Alternatively, we just weave fate, jump the Summit Predator, and attack for 8 like that. Which I think might be better because we're trying to hit our land here. Maybe I attack with just the Summit Predator, I don't actually know yet. Oh, awkward. He could double block here. That's not exactly bad for us though, if he does do that. Attack with everything. He can't kill me unless he has a trick or this thing flips up into something real. So let's go like this. If he wants to double lock, that's okay, I think. He does not. Okay. This manifest is probably going in front of that Tommy Horde mate. He comes in with everything. Yeah, certainly is. That is an excellent draw. I'm going to tap down this. I want to draw a card, that's the thing. I want to draw it now so I can try to hit a land. Good. And the reason for that I did that is now if we draw another land we can cast Bathe and Dragonfire and After Treason on the same turn. We're close to dead. We're pretty much dead to removal. So, but I think we're kind of dead to removal anyway in the long run. So, if it's a kill shot or something, that's okay. Risk away. That's not so bad. I would have really liked to land off the top, and now we know we're not getting one. And we're dead. There might have been ways I could have played that game to win it, but I think overall we just both got... In that game we both got a little unlucky, but turn 9 for us both to have 5 lands is pretty rare. You'd expect to have a good 6 or 7 by that point. Our Sick Prowess deck died in the first round. We mulliganed to 5 in the first game. That happens sometimes. I'm sorry to see it go down like this, guys, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and hopefully we'll do a little better next time.